she's back. So I think the last video I posted was I had a problem with my bike. I don't anymore. In fairness, I managed to sort out that problem pretty much the day I posted that video, and then work, holidays, birthdays all came along, and then I had the joy of my GoPro shit itself as well. So it's been a great week of just stuff going wrong that really shouldn't have gone wrong, or a couple of weeks. But yeah, so I've now got myself the new GoPro Hero 10, and this is its maiden voyage. We'll see how well it behaves. I've got the media mod on, and I've got an external mic plugged in, and we'll see how well she does. But the wiring issue for this bike was resolved, and she's running lovely. And she's such a chuckable little machine. It's so much fun. And it's feckin' freezing today whilst the sun's out. I'm still gonna freeze my tits off, but you know, sun's out, bike's out. It's basically it, isn't it? This thing is just so much fun and so nice to just get out and enjoy any kind of weather. And it is just, yeah, I'm just in a very happy place. I wasn't planning on coming out for a ride or doing a video. I had a meeting cancel on me, and it gave me an extra hour. So I thought, screw it, I'm gonna jump on the CB and have a ride and just enjoy myself for 45 minutes, an hour. And I figured I'd chuck the GoPro on because I've not had a chance to play with it. It came last week, but with work and everything, I've just not had a chance, and the weather's been fucking horrible. But yeah, it's not fucking horrible weather. I've got the time, I've got a bike. Why wouldn't you? It's almost an obligation at this point to just go and have a play and harass all the neighbours. Not that I'd ever do such an immature thing, but oh, it feels so good. It feels so good. I've done a lot of riding recently, but it's been on the Triumph going to and from London for work and bits like that, so it's not really that enjoyable. I've put the high side bar end mirrors back on because I had the Puig high-tech, like normal normal position mirrors. And I went out for a ride with a mate just after Christmas, and or just before Christmas, sorry, and the pissing mirror lens fell out. So they've refunded me, but I was a bit that was a bit annoying. And the reason why I took these off is because at an speed that I won't disclose because I will not commit to incriminating myself, but over a certain speed these vibrate and move, and they get a little bit annoying. And I don't mind the vibration, you get that with bar end mirrors. What was bugging me is they would move out of position. So I've just filled them up with Loctite, and I'm going with that. I got the money back on the other ones, and these are back on, and I think these look cooler anyway. So yeah, that's what we're going with. But yeah, I hope everybody is enjoying themselves, and if you are getting the chance to get out on your bike for an excursion, you are doing it in the finest of conditions and having all of the fun, because let's face it, that's what they're for. What else is happening in my world? Oh, the XS400, my little bike build, is coming along quite nicely. It's now at the point where I need to start wiring the bloody thing, so that'll be fun. And by fun, I mean like a trip to the dentist. But I'm very much looking forward to getting that sorted out. I've got all the certificate of manufacture from Yamaha, so that means that I can register it, which I need to do. I keep saying I need to do it, but I actually need to do it. Oh, and I'm going to look at an old GoPro 600 in a week or two as potentially a track bike. So because I'm very much enjoying this part of my life and enjoying the bikes and enjoying getting out and about and having fun, I do have the inclination to go a little faster, but I would like to do it in a bit more of a controlled... What are you doing, you complete bellend? Are you fucking retarded? Yes, yes you are. Yeah. So I've still got the Triumph Tiger, still using that on the daily, on the commute, sorry, not on the daily, I've not been riding daily. Still using the Triumph Tiger on the commute into London as and when needed, and it's quite nice in where the weather's been a bit crap recently to have something with a bit of weather and wind protection. But this thing is just, it's a very different beast, obviously. This thing's just so much fun. The new GoPro I've got, so my old GoPro was the Hero 7 or Hero 8, and what happened is I've actually tried recording a couple of videos and it just stopped. It would do either audio or video, but never both. And I kind of put it down to the crappy weather, because when I was riding, there were a couple of times where I was riding where it was like -1, -2, and it was just struggling. Like even just turning it on, it was really sluggish. Nothing wrong with the batteries, and they're genuine GoPro batteries and stuff like that. It just wasn't having any of it. So I've opted for the Hero 10, and I've got the media mod. And this is my first run. I've not actually tested this mic with it or anything like that. So it'll be a good indication to see if it's actually any good or if there's a marked improvement. I'm just doing it at I think 4K 30 frames per second standard stability, so it should do decent video recording and bits like that. And I've got it on the wide but not the super wide setting, so it shouldn't have too bad a fishbowl effect, although there is, you know, always a fishbowl effect with an action cam. And yeah, that's about it. I've not really done anything more to the CB bar changing back the mirrors and going for a couple of little rides, but now I've got the new camera and work seems to be going a little bit less batshit crazy, and the days are starting to get longer as well, which is always a bonus. I'm hoping to get out, you know, once, twice a week, and on one of those rides I'd like to chuck the camera on and just randomly chat shit and just, yeah, keep up to date. There's a couple of new bikes that are coming out that I was quite interested in, so because I've gone completely from 2 years ago, don't have a bike, don't talk about bikes, I'm not doing bikes, to now my entire fucking world revolves around motorcycles. But I have to say, that's done nothing but good for me. I'm happier now than I have been in a very, very long time. And it's not just exclusively for motorcycles. Other things have happened in my life recently which have made me exquisitely happy. But this has helped dramatically. But what I did want to talk about a little bit, well, we'll do it when it's less windy, because it's quite a serious subject and I'd like to actually talk to people about it. God, that feels so good. I'll probably be blanking out my speed, but trust me, I'm obeying the speed limit on every corner. It's absolutely fine. There is nothing to see here, officer. But yeah, as we're coming back into a 30 limit and it'll be a bit less windy and a bit easier to talk, something that I found out that I was suffering with just before Christmas was vitamin D deficiency. Which, you know, the pandemic and everything like that and everybody being shut indoors and all that shit is really, really common at the moment. But what I didn't realise was the effect it can have on you in terms of mental health and shit like that. So I was struggling, really like proper struggling before, well, towards like Q3, Q4 of last year, so the last half of last year. And not like, you know, being miserable or anything like that, but things were getting on top of me, and every time something went wrong, particularly work related, I reacted uncharacteristically stressed. Things just kept getting on top of me and I kept struggling. And then I developed pins and needles in my face and a couple of bits, did a load of blood tests, and it, you know, obviously after the doctors did the whole, I'm going to scare the shit out of you by talking about heart attacks, brain tumours, you know, all that sort of stuff. Have you suffered a stroke? And no, I haven't, thank you very much. But it turned out that I had a ridiculously low vitamin D level, like none. So I ended up on these like capsules of it, and now I'm being good now. I've turned 40 last month and realised that I should probably be taking a bit more care of myself, as 40 years of abuse seem to be taking their toll. So I'm now taking multivitamins and a recommended vitamin D supplement, and I tell you what, stuff's easier to deal with just on the day-to-day. Like things that last year were stressing me out aren't now stressing me out or causing me problems or anything like that. Thank you, sir. But yeah, I'm just generally enjoying life a bit more at the moment, which is really good. And I think people do get that funk, but if you are, like, have a look at vitamin D levels and things like that, because I'm one of these guys, never really had any problems like that or anything, and then I got it diagnosed because I was looking for what was causing the issue with my face, so why I was getting pins and needles in my left cheek. And like, I started taking the pins and needles, started taking the vitamin D and bits like that, and that's all cleared up. It just has made me feel so much more like me. And I think just the whole grind, the monotony and the shit of the pandemic kind of started getting to me after a while. And I think whilst being run down, and you know, I found it more difficult to handle stressful situations, and my job can be reasonably stressful at times, but thankfully it doesn't seem to be anymore. And then, you know, to top that off, I've got the vitamin D supplements, I'm feeling good about myself, I'm feeling healthier, and I've got my motorbikes, and the combination of these things makes for a very happy monkey. In case you didn't realise, fucking lane are you in? So yeah, I should probably talk more about the idea of me getting a track bike. So I don't know how to ride track. I've never done any kind of competitive racing on track in any way, shape or form. But I really want to, and I'm too attached to this bike to see it bounce down a track when the inevitable slide happens. So I'm going to go the other way, and I'm going to buy myself a really cheap high mile GSXR 600 that's going to need some TLC and bits like that, but it is just going to be primarily a track toy. I'll keep it road registered, and it will still be a road legal bike, with a view of, you can take it out and have a play, or if one of my mates is visiting from out of town, they can come and borrow it as a run round and stuff like that. But the primary purpose of it is going to be a track toy. Now that in itself presents me with a dilemma. So I have a single garage, and in my single garage I currently have 2.5 motorcycles. So I've got this one, the Tiger, which is a wee beastie of a bike, and then I've got my XS400, which is being rebuilt. Then I've got all my tools and my welding kit and my air compressor and stuff like that, and then my workbench, and then like my air rifle bits, and all the little bits and pieces that you accumulate over the years. And I'm now going, well, I want another bike, but where do I put another bike? And I'm gonna have to spend the weekend redesigning my entire garage to accommodate what is going to be a toy. And I'm really okay with this as a problem to have. Like, it's a very nice problem to have. I just think it's stupid I don't need a double garage. That's my only solution to this problem. I know that someone's going to suggest in the comments that just pick one bike for all things, or you can have a bike that can do this, but I'll be honest, I'm in a position in my life where I don't have to, and I'm not gonna. Basically, I'm finally at that point in my life, which has taken me 40 fucking years to get to, of I don't have to make compromises like that, so I just don't want to, and I'm not going to. Like I say, this is my stress relief and just pure enjoyment on the bikes, and I'm not giving that up, and I want to do all the things on all the bikes. So other bits that I've got planned, in April I'm doing an adventure bike day where I'm going to be taught how to ride an adventure bike properly, because I don't know if any of you have seen on the previous video, I had a go at taking my Triumph Tiger off-road, which, admittedly on road tyres, but that didn't end too well. So yeah, I'm going to learn how to ride an adventure bike off-road properly. A mate of mine who is properly into his sports bike wants to do an off-road day, like a motocross day or something like that, so 100% doing that. I want to do a track day, and I don't want to just rock up and go, look at me, I want to do a track day. The reason why I want to get the cheap track bike rather than just take this bike down is I want to go and have some lessons and be taught how to do it properly. But renting, I'm looking to spend 1,400–1,500 quid, so it's not going to be a fancy bike by any stretch, but I'm looking at, if you're going to rent a bike, cover the insurance and everything like that, and you want to do, say, 4 or 5 lessons a year, that's a couple of grand. Whereas I could have a bike that, it's something else that I can play with in the garage. It's another bike that me or my mates can poodle around on, and when I want to just go to an open track day, I can just go to an open track day, and there's no harm in that. I can just enjoy it for what it is. So to me, it makes financial sense, and that's the justification I'm going with for buying my what is fourth, but my 3.5 bike is what I'm officially going with. Naughty. So yeah, that's my latest update. I know I keep promising the modifications video for the CB. I will do that. I will keep promising doing that, and at some point in the future I will fucking do that. Obviously the last video I did was supposed to be that, and then the bike broke. That's fixed, and for those of you who, with all the suggestions on that video, thank you ever so much. What it was is there's a wire in the ignition that comes out from here and goes across there, and me being the numpty, I think I trapped the wire because there was a split in it and it was shorting. So I repaired that wire, and actually properly repaired it, so soldered it and heat wrapped it and bits like that, and it's absolutely fine now. I'm running as sweet as a bloody nut. Yeah, so I don't know if any of that's useful to anybody, or if anybody likes hearing any of it. Well, I think people seem to be enjoying it. I've got 200 subscribers now, which is fucking mental. That's just really cool. Yeah, I hugely appreciate that, so thank you. The speed bumps of Bletchley. Ow, 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 ow. I hate speed bumps. It's stuff like that. So speed bumps, speed cameras, parking tickets and all that sort of stuff. They were just invented by people who were bullied at school, and they want to get their fucking own back on everybody, aren't they? Which I suppose is probably a good idea, because if they didn't manage to get their own back that way, they're the kind of people who turn into fucking serial killers. Why don't I trust people who are driving along with their wipers on when there's no rain? Why do I instantly think that they're going to kill someone on the road? You motherfucker. Knew you were going to do that.